Hey everybody, welcome to the video where I'm going to be talking about your final assignment for LitComp. You've almost made it. So please make sure that you're listening to this entire video because every second of this video, for the most part, has like really important knowledge that you need to have. I'm going to try to go through it as fast as possible, but there's like 60 something slides that I have to get through. It's not that complicated. I just really want to be super duper thorough. But before I begin, I want to pause. Cats, pause. And just say congratulations. You're almost done with the 8th grade. You're almost done with middle school. You've got like 3 weeks left. Keep working hard. Keep working hard. Cats. All right, here we go. Your final assignment. Let's talk about the purpose to begin with. What you need to do in this final assignment is to show that you have mastered the essential skills for 8th grade literature and composition. Now, we haven't used that term essential skills very much, but believe me, we've talked about them quite a bit in class. Let's look at them specifically. You need to show me that you can do a character analysis using Walter. Again, that is words, actions, looks, thoughts and emotions, and reactions from others. I need you to be doing that. It's what we were doing the entire time we read The Good Earth. There's Wang Lung, there's Olan. When we were talking about their really small like character traits and what that means. Are they good people? Are they bad? Are they caring? Are they mean? That's what I need you to be remembering during the character analysis. We're not going to be using looks or reactions from others. I'll explain that in a little bit, but for your character analysis, I need you to be focusing on W, words, A, actions, T-E, thoughts and emotions. The next essential skill is argumentative and persuasive writing. The good thing is, every single claim, data, warrant, piece of writing that you have given me is an argumentative piece of writing. And when we're talking about persuasive writing, we're talking about ethos, pathos, logos as well. That's what we've been working on for the last entire month of April and a lot of March as well, working on ethos, pathos, logos, and the rhetorical triangle. And I also need you to show me that you've got grammar, rules, and conventions figured out for the 8th grade. Now, what that means is that you have to write me a paragraph and diagram the entire thing. Just kidding. No, that'd be horribly mean. All I mean by grammar, rules, and conventions is that when you write something to me, I want it to be written at an 8th grade level. You need to show me in your writing that you're ready to go. But who will we analyze? We haven't really read a book in a while. We can't really analyze JFK or Martin Luther King. Who will we analyze, Mr. Blake? You. You will be analyzing yourself. Brain blast. Here's what I'm requiring. You need to, number one, provide an accurate and specific self-reflection. The self-reflection must be in the form of a self-analysis. What that means is I want you to take something in your life and really look at it closely and make it into an argument that shows how you've grown or what kind of person you are. Just to keep in mind for our definition of analysis, we're talking about a detailed examination of a very small part of something to understand the whole. So we're going to take a really close look at a small part of your life, like one moment, like one 5-minute interaction or thought process you had. And we're going to really analyze it so that we can use that small moment to understand you as a person. So just to iterate that again, we're going to take a really close look at something super specific from your life, and then you're going to create an argument that's going to explain what kind of person you are. Sound good? I hope so. Number 2 requirement. This analysis needs to be in the form of an argumentative and persuasive claim, data, warrant paragraph. That's right. One paragraph. Wow, only one paragraph, Mr. Blake. Easiest final ever. Oh my gosh. Wrongo. I love the Grinch, by the way. But seriously, wrong. No. Just because it's one paragraph does not mean that this is necessarily easy, right? I keep using the metaphor in class when people ask, Mr. Blake, how long do things need to be? And I ask, well, what's better? An entire buffet of Little Caesars pizza or one slice of perfectly made right coast pizza with the perfect toppings? This paragraph needs to be that one perfect slice. This paragraph needs to be the best thing you have written for me or any teacher this year, possibly ever. The entire effort that we took into our inquiry essays, I want you to focus all of that effort into one paragraph. So when you turn this one paragraph into me, it needs to be like really good, dude, like really good. It needs to have a claim. Your claim needs to be a direct statement of how you answer your prompt. I'll show you the prompts in a couple minutes, but it needs to be a part of a claim of that self-analysis. The data needs to be specifically from your life. It needs to be well chosen, and it needs to be your words, your actions, or your thoughts and emotions. I don't want you analyzing your looks because I don't really want you telling me about how you changed your backpack and that's how you're different. No, I don't really want you to focus on specifically how other people reacted to you. I want you to be focused on your words, actions, thoughts, and emotions. You're warned. It needs to be in depth. Read that as multiple sentences, an in-depth explanation of how the data proves the claim. You need to use ethos, pathos, and logos, those rhetorical appeals. Now, on that note, I made this YouTube video where I made the rhetorical triangle in my notes, and as of today, April 22nd, 63 people have looked at this video. And at least 2 of those views are from me, and 1 of those views is from my mom, which means only 60 out of my entire student body have looked at this video. If you haven't watched this 17-minute video about the rhetorical triangle, man, you really got to do that. Please do not get into your final assignment if you haven't looked at the rhetorical triangle notes. It's a huge part of this assignment. It's huge. Look at that video, Ethos, Pathos, Logos. Use ethos to establish your trust and credibility as speaker. Use pathos to work on your audience. Use your words to influence your audience's passions and emotions. And use logos to include facts or numerical number-based statistics to help prove your idea and prove your claim. How? How on earth can we use ethos, pathos, and logos if we haven't been doing research? My YouTube videos explain it. In the last month, I was asking everybody to look at their inquiry research paper and to make revisions. And one of the biggest things that I was advising revisions about was ethos, pathos, and logos. I have a playlist on my YouTube channel that has every single thing you need. Now, these videos are long. My drafting paper is 45 minutes for that video, 30 minutes for some of these. I explain using ethos, pathos, and logos in the first 5 minutes of this video, and this video. 5 minutes. I explain it right off the bat. If you haven't watched those 3 videos and identified how to use ethos, pathos, logos in an argument, you need to do so. Do that right as soon as you finish this video. Number 4 requirement, you need to have a so what at the end of your conclusion. Your paragraph needs to end with one concluding sentence that gives me a so what. But how can you give a so what? Here's how. Give me a call to action. What does your audience need to do based off of what you have written about your self-reflection? Did you change in a way that was so good that I should also try to do those same things? Have you had such a transformative experience that I should try to emulate that or copy the same thing? Give me a call to action. Or you can explain how, based off of your reflection, how might you change your life in the future? Maybe you are going to write about how you were really, really well organized this year, but only during online learning. Well, in your so what, tell me about how are you going to use that organization in your high school years or maybe even college? How can you use the friendship that you've made in middle school and apply that to a professional work environment when you're 30 or 40? Give me that call to action. Give me that explanation. I need a so what. Number 5 for the requirements, write it using grammar. What grammar? Daily grammar, adventure grammar. All of the stuff that we've done every single day of school other than online learning is stuff that I expect you to use. I really hope that you have your notebook at home with all of your wonderful, wonderful grammar sheets in it, because when it comes down to stuff like quotation marks, or it comes down to stuff like pronouns, I expect you to use those accurately. Capitalize stuff. If you're one of those people who hasn't been capitalizing I or your name or a holiday, I'm looking at you. I also need you to punctuate stuff. If you're one of those people who hasn't been using periods at the end of your sentences, I'm looking at you. I need you to be thinking about your sentence structure. Advanced 8th grade students will use a variety of sentence structures from simple sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences, and compound complex sentences. But at the very least, I need full sentences. If you've been one of those people who has a lot of sentence fragments, I'm looking at you. I also need you to be checking out your spelling. You're going to write these on Google Docs. There is, in my opinion, zero excuse for misspelled words. I mean, Google Docs underlines it for you, right? And then it gives you spelling suggestions. I can't tell y'all how many papers I got, inquiry paper final drafts, where words like this were ignored. You can do that, right click and say, Google Docs, ignore this. And that little red line goes away. I still read it. I still notice it. You can't just say ignore on the spelled words or the grammar problems. Take your time to revise, edit, fix those spelled words. Fix your spelled words. Moving on. Those are all the requirements. Wow, pow, that's awesome. That's all I'm asking for. 5 really well done things. Look at this meme. Very language, much amazed, so grammar, wow, such English. It's silly, but seriously, do those 5 things well and you're going to get a really good grade on this. Here are your prompts. You can only choose one. I'll repeat that. Only choose one prompt. Here they are. Prompt A. How have you positively, like in a good way, positively grown or changed in the last 3 years of middle school. If you choose this prompt, you need to reflect on the difference between you as a 6th grader and you as an 8th grader. How have you changed throughout the entirety of your middle school experience? Here's an example for me. There's me as a 6th grader. Aww. There's me as a 7th grader. And there's me as an 8th grader. Real pictures. It's crazy, right? Obviously wrong. That's silly. I'm just trying to be silly, trying to have fun. I'm talking about mental changes. I do not want to know about how tall you got. I do not want to know about how long your hair has gotten. I don't want to know about other changes. That'd be gross. What I need to know about is your mental changes. How has your perspective on things changed? How do you understand the world differently? How do you understand your relationships with people differently? How has your friend group changed? How have your activities changed? How are you a different person after 3 years of development? That's prompt A. That's your first choice. Ran out of breath, goodness. Here's prompt B. How have you shown good character in your 8th grade year and therefore lived Frontier Academy's vision of building leaders? Reflect only on your 8th grade year. Now, when we're talking about good character, we're talking about stuff like honesty. Have you been particularly honest with your friend or a parent or a teacher or a principal? How have you used humor to make people's lives around you better? How have you used helpfulness in any capacity? How have you been a team player or advocated for somebody? There's more than just those 4. In fact, if you just Google search good character traits, you'll see a lot of stuff like this. How are you valuable? How are you daring? How have you been innocent or peaceful or accepting or protective or flexible or intelligent or receptive or patient or clever and a lot of these are repeated. That's fine. Choose one of these and really focus in on it. So prompt A, how have you changed positively in the last 3 years of middle school? And again, middle school as a whole. Prompt B, how have you shown good character in your 8th grade year and therefore shown leadership? Only choose one of those, but please, 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 you have to show critical thinking and actual self-reflection in your choice. Earlier, I mentioned how we're not going to be focusing on looks or reactions of others, because if you tell me about how you got different shoes and that's your big change, that's not critical thinking. Wow, your locker moved from one side of the hallway to the other side of the hallway. That's not self-reflection. I'm talking about growth. I'm talking about the development as you as a person deep down inside. How have you changed? If you don't give me critical thinking and you don't give me actual, genuine, real self-reflection, this entire assignment is not going to be very successful. Choose one of those prompts. Make sure you've got critical thinking. Make sure you've got self-reflection. Here's the rubric. Now, it's almost all of the same exact requirements that I've talked about already. It's a single point rubric, the same style of rubric that I used for the inquiry paper. If you have things that I think you need to improve on, I'll put it over here. Areas where you exceeded will go on the right. Here's the criteria. Did you restate the prompt? Do you have a claim? Do you have data, a warrant, ethos, pathos, logos? Do you have a conclusion that includes a so what? Do you have it using 8th grade grammar rules? Do you have MLA formatting? This is all I mean by MLA formatting. Times New Roman, size 12 font. Justify the alignment. Don't put it on the right. Don't put your paragraph aligned to the left. Don't center align it, but have that nice, square, justified alignment. Double space it, You need a header and a page number on every page. This might go to 2 pages for some of you. On the first page, make sure that you also have your name, your teacher's name, your class name, and the date of publication. We'll talk about that in a second. I also have an outline for you. It goes through every single requirement other than grammar. And if you want to, you can use this as much or as little as possible. But if you're a person that struggles a little bit with organizing your written ideas, please use this outline. It literally defines almost every sentence for you. Your topic sentence, does it restate the prompt? Type yours where it says A. Your claim, is it a direct statement that addresses or answers the question in the prompt? Here's how I have grown in the 8th grade by building my blah, blah, blah. Here's how I've changed in the entirety of middle school based off of my blah, blah, blah. That's your claim. Transition from claim to data. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but if you want to, use this outline. Due dates. Publication dates, here we go. Rough draft, you are turning in a rough draft. It's due Monday, May 11th. If you're watching this video the day that I upload it, May 4th, may the 4th be with you. It's a week. May 11th, you need your rough draft due. Now the good thing is, you've got a feedback opportunity. I will try my best to give feedback to every single rough draft that is turned into me on or before May 11th. If you turn it in on the 12th, you'll get points, but I'm not going to be able to give you feedback because I don't have a lot of time. It takes me almost an hour to grade every single one of these. So if you turn it in earlier, I will give you feedback earlier. I'm not trying to say that you should rush through this, but I'm saying don't wait until May the 11th to turn it in at the last moment, because the more heads up you give me, the better feedback I can give you. Final draft, it's due Monday, May 18th. That's the last Monday of school. I'm going to upload the link for the final draft on the same day that the rough draft is due. I'm going to do that because I don't want people just jumping to the final draft. Both of these are going to be turned in through Google Classroom. Yeah, that's kind of it. Lot of information. I'm personally feeling kind of head blown by the amount of information I'm giving. Please let me know if you have any further questions. I would love to help. Put some good effort into this. I have a really good faith that every single person can do well on it. Let me know how I can help. I made a document called 2020 Spring Final Assignment. It has all the requirements and info, same stuff that I've been talking about in this video. It has the rubric that I showed just a little bit ago, and it has the outline that I also just showed. If you want to, make a copy of that so you can make direct edits to the outline if you'd like to. You do not have to turn in the outline. I just want your finished and rough draft paragraphs. This is how you access that document. This document right here, 2020 Spring Final Assignment. You need to type this tiny URL, and that's how you can access it. HTTPS : make sure you have like the double colon, not the semicolon, / TINYURL period COM /YCW 7MGND. One more time, HTTPS : tinyurl.com /YCW 7MGND. This is how you can access that document that has all the information on it. Please let me know if you have any more questions. I would love to help. Rough draft due May 11th. Final draft due May 18th. Folks, you're so close. Keep up the good work. Please let me know how I can help. Other than that, have a great day and enjoy this nice weather.